on this grand Saturday night. It is not a usual night for us, but things didn't work out. We're having some very heavy weather here in the Northeast. And if you are like me, you are shoveling snow. And that's what's been going on the last few days. And looks like tomorrow is another big storm coming in. It's piled up high, 5 feet all around, everywhere on the sidewalks. It's 5 feet high, the piles of snow. But that's it. We're going to just have to live with the snow, and that means we get comfortable inside. Hello, good to see you, Craig's Catfish Cave, and we've got other people maybe joining us in the next few minutes. Thank you so much for joining, and we are just doing a quick live tonight. Hope everything works out for us. We have obviously a nice opportunity to ask questions tonight, do a little bit while we take a look at some of the fry. There's always so much fun looking at the fry, isn't there? Well, let's get right to it. As people join us, we're going to continue to see what's going on. Let's see if I can see better on without the eyeglasses. Let's see. Okay, so we do have some interesting things developing here in the fish room. Hi, Capital Razor, good to see you. We have 2 small batches. This is like not really even a batch. It's just a few fry. It came from an Apisto pair that was in a community tank. We didn't even know they laid eggs, and so we ended up taking the cave and moving it to another tank. And then the female inside was like so protective and so freaked out, and we looked inside the cave and there were fry in there. So we had to take the fry out. It wasn't going to work out, and we'll see what happens. In this particular jar, you'll see 6 small Apistogrammas. And what's really interesting about the Apistogramma fry, let's hope I can capture it. They're actually red. You can see that their bellies are red. You see that little spot right there? That is an Apistogramma wiggler. Yeah, there's only like 6 in this jar. So what I did was I brought them over, put them in this jar, but I used water from an established tank. So I decided I would just try them in, not using like fresh water. This is like conditioned water. And I didn't want to use that. It seemed like last time I tried this on fry, it didn't work out. But this particular bottle looks like tannins, so we're going to give it a different try. I'm not sure what the pH is at the moment. I have been doing water changes in that tank, but it's low, but not too low. But there it is. It's a little red belly, and you can see it moving slightly. I get a better view. Maybe if I shine a flashlight, you'll be able to see. Most fry, and I'll show you the fry next. There you go. You can see the red wiggler there. That is a Panduro, Apistogramma Panduro fry, and they're weird in the coloration of their yolk sac. Quite interesting. Whereas in this tank, this one had a batch of angelfish eggs from JV6, and this particular batch, all of the eggs went bad, but it looked like mostly got fungus and didn't come out right. But I'm going to turn it around. I did see a few fry that hatched, and I went ahead and pulled them out. You can see these fry, just to show a difference. There they are. Now, in the case of angelfish wigglers, is it my lens? Which lens is it not showing up on? Okay. It's I'm trying to get the focus. There we go. Just back off a little bit, I guess. Right in the foreground, you see them wiggling. There's some crud floating around in there, but it's harmless, so I just left it. But that's fry are clear. not even yellow yolk. They're just kind of clear completely. The mother is a platinum and the father is black. So I don't know what we're going to get out of this pair. I just want to see. So we're going to see what we're going to get out of. Just I want to see the colors of these 6 fry that survived. So that's this week also. On the other hand, this is a humongous batch of wigglers. I don't know if you can really, yeah, I think we're going to really see it when you put the light on it. See how many there are in there. There you go. Get an idea of how many wigglers there are. Yeah, quite a few. Now this is they're even on the glass on the back there. See them on the back? Yeah, there's one on the front. You can see them on the front. They're wiggling. They kind of have a yellowish yolk. There we go. There we go. Finally, focus. It's kind of a yellowish yolk, and they're going to wiggle for another day or two. These are also angelfish, but these are koi angels from our high coverage red koi. Oh, they're on the glass here. You can see them now. So they have some color in their yolk, quite different than the other ones. Hi, Ron. Hi, Daniel. Yeah, we're going to just take a look around and see what else we got here. This batch of black marbles always produces both black and gold angels in the same batch as always. You can see them. Something else interesting I was looking at earlier tonight in the back here, you can see in my rainbow fish grow out. These are obviously, you can see from the color of their bodies, these are luminatus. If I shine a light, they do stand out. There we go. See there? Luminatus. But at the surface, up at the surface, there are some fry with no orange coloration. And those, I believe, are in fact not luminatus. Those are in fact Pseudomugil cyanodorsalis that hatched in this tank. So we'll see. So Daniel has natural aquariums. Check out the 2 new shorts on his YouTube page. Okay, I'll have to do that. Thank you, Daniel. Hi, Sandy. We're just taking a look at the fry, because that's most of it I got this week. Lots of fry. Let me put the camera in the holster here because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it. There we go. My holster consists of rubber bands, but don't tell anybody. We're low tech around here, as you might imagine. We do what it takes. Okay, for safety. There we go. So up here, I was able to, I started filling up this tank with about 25 German blue rams. These are fry. I have another group of them from the same batch in another tank, so I split them up. You never know if you have, yes, Daniel, those were rainbow fish fry, Pseudomugil luminatus, and cyanodorsalis. So this is actually the half of the batch because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. If you get an issue with maybe bacterial infection or something and something happens to your batch, you don't want to lose everything. So sometimes it's best to break them up. This tank got really dark. I don't know why the tannins got so dark in this one, and I have removed the parents. These are Agassizi, but unfortunately, once I removed everything, I discovered that the nice sized batch in here is now just down to like 2 fish. I don't know what happened to them. Middle of a mystery, but it was hard to see. Whereas on this side, I got to give I'll probably have to do a, let me see if I turn off the glare. I'm going to turn off the lights, see if there's less glare. No, I can't see anything. That's worse. Oh my goodness. Well, the reason why we can't see is because in this particular row, the light fixture burn out, so there's no light in these tanks. They're just using the room lights. That's all they need. But for videoing, taking photos, of course. But what we're looking at here is the Hogsloi. And there's a good number of fry in here. They're growing up really nice. I think they're camera shy because they usually hang out in the front, right in this Java moss, but they're not there. Is that one down below? I see one. Ah, there is one. See it right there? There you go. So there's a group of them in there. I don't know how many total, but they're growing nicely. Same here. These guys. See, this is Bainchi, Inca 50s. They're doing very well. There's the dad. Mom and dad have been taking care of them quite well in this small 2.5 gallon. I do not recommend 2.5 gallons, but it was all I had at the time. We're going to set up some larger tanks for that pair, and they're going to move into one of these. These were set up, let's see, we got 4 of them. They're just 5 gallons. And I'm working on lids, as you can see. And get some, I don't think I'll need heaters. This is used for the setup over here. I don't need heaters because with the Apistos, they don't use as much. Mahmoud, hello, welcome, Storm Harbinger. Well, Lumpy Dog, boy, we got all kinds of people jumping into tonight. Thank you so much for getting that thumbs up and getting the algorithm going. Appreciate it very much. Just have a few minutes of some good breeding talk. Okay, up here, our Odessa barbs are doing very well. These are growing, and we've got good growth on those Odessa barbs. These are black rubies. The black rubies, now, interestingly, they're born the same day. These are slightly smaller, I believe, because there's a lot more of them in here. And so I do have a few rams in there because I needed a place for those 5 or 6 rams that I had. They do well when they're in with tanks with other fish, so that they kind of don't pester each other. Those are black rams. Yeah. Here now we have a tank that I've been cleaning out. I'm actually doing a water change right now. You can see the water coming in through the tube. It's we're filtering. I'm not filtering. We're draining water into this tank like this. It's a form of slow water change, and it's going out the back in that overflow. I have videos on the channel showing you how to make those overflows, and then they go right into the drain. So we're just flushing out this tank. It got kind of murky, and so I put this filter in it yesterday. You can see it's already cleaned up. You can see it by the amount of crud it's already filtered. It's picking up quite a bit. Now these are the Agassizi triple reds. There's a few barbs. You'll see there's a couple of Odessas, and there's also some little small group of, where are they? They're called checkered barbs. There's one right there. Right there. No, there he is. These are the checkered barbs, the ones with all the dots. They have multiple dots. Those guys are gorgeous, but there's, at least in the back there, you see quite a few of the Apistos. Those are also triple reds, are all the same. Tank number 4, we're growing up albino cherry barbs, and I mixed in a good group of German blue rams, but they're very skittish. They run to the back. You can see them back there. Those are the German blue rams in the back. They're not yet at the age where they come begging at the front glass. They will get to that point, I'm sure. Our newest German blue ram batch is located here in the Lowell's fry tray, and they were just placed here, I believe, a couple days ago. They're doing very well. It's going to be a nice sized batch, and I don't see any losses yet. I'm going to try to maintain this batch very carefully and not to lose any. As you can see, we're feeding baby brine shrimp. I need to clean that out before I feed again. Here we have Trifasciata, Apistogramma trifasciata. There's a nice group in here, tons of fry. Dad is usually right here in front. I don't see him right now. There's a 10-gallon. Up above, we've got more. We got more Inca 50. I love this girl. She's so bright yellowed. And her fry. This tank is due for a extraction, but before I can do an extraction, I have to find a tank to put them in, and that's always an issue. We play a lot of musical tanks here. And here's another pair of Inca 50s. There we go. I like this female stripes. Exceptionally good. And the boy here, he's kind of not showing his stuff right now, but when he spreads his fins and displays, it's quite a interesting, very beautiful fish. So this is another tank full of fry that need to have come out. Now over here, the Agassizii, the triple reds, we were looking at their fry from a month ago, but these are the newest ones. They already had a batch this earlier, about a week ago. You can see them running around. And Trifasciata over here too. Yeah, the glare is pretty bad, huh? Now in this case, I might be able to remove the overhead lights, reduce the glare, and there's the female. Now the Trifasciata means Trifasciata 3 lines. So you see the top line, the middle line, and she has another line that goes along the very lower part of the body. So you do see 3 lines. If I were to mix my Apistogrammas all up, I think I could probably tell you exactly which one is which. They're quite distinguishable. On this side, another pair of triple reds, and I'm waiting for fry from this pair. Nothing's come out yet. There's an Inca 50 pair in here, and they always stay hidden. They're super, super, super hard to take photos. Oh, here's one. He's right in the front. Is that the boy or the girl? Boy. I can't even see. It's so dark in there. There is no light over this tank either. But it's okay. I don't mind having low-level lighting. Down below, oh, I didn't, before I go, we do have fry here. We've got more fry with mom. You can see what the female Apistogramma Panduro looks like when she's got fry. She's displaying, and the male, he wrecked some of his fins with. A few months back, he had caught some fin rot, and before I could catch it, I noticed that it had eaten away some of his fin. But I put him back to work to see if he was a good dad, but I put him back to work to see if he would still, even with only a partial fin, be able to produce something. And sure enough, he went right to work. And of course, this pair, this is another pair of Panduros, that the ones that they're looking at. They're in this tank here, but I don't see them. No fry yet that I've been able to spot. Well, that's it. Oh, and new in the fish room is a pair of red-shouldered gold. This is the McMasteri. I must say, it's a very attractive pair, but I don't know about you folks, but there is a big question mark over whether or not that is a female. She chases him. She doesn't have the coloration of a male, but she's big. In the McMasteri, the females are much smaller than the males. The males get very large. Why this one has gotten so large, we don't know, but we're going to give it a try and see if we don't produce anything from this pair. What do you think? Is that a male or a female? Any thoughts out there? It's a pretty goldfish. Yeah, it's interesting. Not sure. Now over here we've got a pair of Agazizi, but Jeff, you may be late, but you're always welcome. Look at this, Jeff. I'm showing off this pair of this is red-shouldered gold morph of the Apistogramma McMasteri, but the female is super large. She keeps growing at it. We don't know why. If it is, it could be a male that just is not got the coloration or the red shoulder in it. It could be a possibility. But if we don't get any fry soon, in a reasonable amount of time, we'll just pull her out, put some females in there, and some females that we know are females, and we'll just let him, if it is a him, we'll put it with some females and just see. I mean, look at the coloration. It's just bland. I mean, it's gold, but it doesn't have any markings like the males have, like on the red shoulder. She acts like a female to me. She goes over to the cave. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can get something going here. I have my meter. Let's just take a look right now. I like to see a meter. This is the Milwaukee. I like to see the meter have, this meter was just recalibrated probably yesterday. Friday. And I'm going to stick this meter in the tank. And we're going to check the pH. And I really want it to get low. Well, I'm going to scare her by shaking the meter, but here we go. Put the meter in. Okay, so there's the meter. And let's take a look, see what we got. Okay, starts off at 6.7, and it's not been in long enough. Usually I need a good 30 seconds. It'll start dropping. So in another minute or two, we'll see what it really is. In the meantime, we've got very low ppms. They're only 30. So check on the pH. 6.7. We'll leave that in for a few minutes and see. These guys haven't been in this tank long enough to really produce. This is the pair that came out of what we were looking at that had only the 2 fry in it. I'm expecting more this time. This particular male is, I think, one of the most beautiful ones, although right now he's not showing the blue, but he'll get a blue body when he's in coloration. Really nice. Yeah, that meter, the Milwaukee 802 and the 801, we have one of each now, and they are awesome, and they're really good quality meters, but they're not cheap. So here's, I guess, a Panduro pair, and this is a new pair. They've never spawned before, so they've just been put into this tank at the same time. When I took measurements the other day, 5.1 pH, 5.2, and 4.9. So they were in 4.9. Let's see what's happening here. Still says 6.7. I wonder if after my calibration, maybe I didn't calibrate it. I didn't have it out. It was out of calibration. Let's just check this one too. This one was 5.2 the other day. Now they do tend to rise slowly. Let's put the meter in this tank and see if it's going to go up or down. I suspect it's going to be higher than 5.2, but okay, let's put the meter in. The meter has a little cavity here. It's got a glass bulb on the end on the sensor, and that's got to be kept moist at all times. And the black protector just keeps it from touching things. Okay. And we look over here, and that's strange. It says 6.7 too. Whoa, can't get away from 6.7. I wonder why. Well, didn't seem to be. Oh, now it's gone 6.6, so it is dropping. Let's see. Yeah, it's going down. So we'll give it a few minutes and see if it drops further. But there you have it. We've been doing pretty good. Now, another new feature to the fish room is way down here. And in this very special tank, we're doing something. We've got some Plecos in here, and we're doing something a little different. These are Ancestris Plecos, but they're not the Ancestris bushy nose that we're familiar with. These are L519s, honeycomb Ancestris, and there's a trio of fish in here. I've got a few odds and ends fish used for what do you call it, dithering, but the Plecos in here. I'm keeping the tank on the darker side. I'm not lighting it up too much. We're going to also lower the TDS. I don't know if he's got anybody in the. Oh, he is in the cave. See him there? He's in that cave. Oh, that's interesting. This trio has produced fry in the past. There's another one under the filter, so that's where they're at. You can see them barely in there. I'm going to get a flashlight. We'll just do a quick look. And what we want to see is, I just want to see if there's one fish or two fish in there. I doubt if they've actually bred anything at this point yet, but we'll see. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we have babies. Huh. Yep, that dad's got babies in the back there, a small batch. Well, there you go. Another first for this fish room. L519s. And those are nice fish. So there's a female over there. That must be the male in the cave. And there's one more female around here somewheres. So maybe the other day, I'm wondering, I didn't see him in the cave. I don't check too much, but what I do have is a drop in the TDS. They were put in tap water originally because that's what they were in. So then I changed half the water with RO water. Keep the water at 78 degrees with a 78 heater. I just have bare bottom, and I've got a number of caves, just a few fish. I think there's one Apisto in there, an extra male hogsloi, and a couple of those, what do you call it? And a couple of those White Cloud Mountains. Wow. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is really great news. First time I've seen those is just now. I don't check hardly ever because, well, for two reasons. One is I don't want to check those fish constantly bothering them. I want them to they're more on the wild side. They 5119s command a very high price. They're not cheap fish, that's for sure. And to be honest about those, I haven't had them that long, so I was expecting them to breed, but one thing that I don't know about them is a little history. I need to do more research. Yeah, it's interesting. I probably will I might pull the fry. I'm going to have to decide whether I'm going to pull those out. They're already look like they were past wiggler stage, so they're at least I don't know how old they are, but that's interesting. But the Apisto in there is a hogsloi who is super tranquil. He's just like, I know you're thinking, oh, he's fry, but did you see the size of those fry? Those plecos? They're quite large. I don't think that the hogsloi, which has a very small mouth, would go after them. I don't think so. But yeah, he's only in there temporary. I can pull him out too. I know we both know that the. Oh, really? You had some L519s too. Did you? Yeah. Yeah. For me, if I were to put food in the size of those wigglers, I don't think the Apisto would eat them because I feed them brine shrimp and also the worms, the small worms, the brindle worms that I have. So, but I haven't been feeding them. What I've been feeding this bottom tank is zucchini and cucumber and some veggie pellets, little veggie pellets, and a dash of more of a protein food, just a dash, like Dr. Baslier protein food. Some of the small stuff, this little fine, this is what I feed the smaller fish here. We were looking at the barbs earlier, but no. So you've raised some L519s. Do you know by the chance, Jeff, what is or has been the TDS of your tank when you bred those, when they produce fry? I don't know what that tank is. I was going to drop it much lower with another. Oh, you purchased them tiny. Okay. In getting it as a spawning trigger, I'm just wondering what it was. In fact, whenever I have a spawn like that, I think it's a great idea to check it. We're going to check it here. Our pH in our tank here is 6.7, and it dropped a minute ago to 6.5. Now it's back up to 6.7. I don't know what's going on with the meter. I just calibrated it yesterday. That's crazy. Honestly, I don't know why. It's all over the place. Yeah, I went through the fish room and counted how many tanks I have with a pisto fry. There's actually 10 tanks here that have a pisto fry in them, and I'm not counting that little jar with a few little pistos. So there's 10 tanks. It's like it's a big chore around here. Let's put the meter down with the 519s. Let's see. I like to record. If I get a spawn, especially a new spawn, I want to know. Let's take a look at what it is. Okay, it's 100. So this is kind of like what I would have guessed, because I had tap water, which would have been about 270 to 300, and I put in half. I put in half RO water, and it should have dropped it by half. So this is 100, which is probably normal, and 6.7. That's my. Well, that makes sense, because 6.7 is the pH of my RO water as it comes out of the machine. So when I have RO water right over here, the filter is in the back there behind the green water, and then it fills the blue barrel, and I pump it out to where I need it. So that's all RO water down there. So I guess that's what happened. Well, I'm very pleasantly pleased. We've got new breeding fish in the fish room. Let's hope I can raise these fry. I don't know. If I might just leave them in there. They might be okay with the parents, since there's only 3 fish in that whole 20-gallon, and they're smaller. You know, the 519s are an ancestral strain, but they're definitely smaller than the regular bushy nose that we have. So with 3 little fish. Yeah, so they're very, very, very timid, and they're hiding all the time. And the fish disappear, and you don't see them much, and they just act like wild fish. So I think these are wild caught. These came from an importer, and so I believe that they were wild caught. He has a trio, and this trio he gave me, so that makes it, we both have trios. And he said that this trio has had fry in the past, but he was unable to save the fry. But I don't know the circumstances behind that, so there's no telling as to what's involved. I might just leave the fry, let them grow up in there. If I just try to take them out, I don't know if there's going to be a real need to. They can eat the food that I throw in there and keep for the parents. I was going to clean it out and give another water change, trying to reduce the TDS. I was expecting, let's see, how long have I had those? I've had those fish probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max. Yeah, 3 weeks. Let's just say 3 weeks. I've had them 3 weeks. They've done very well. They've already got fry, so I'm happy with that. And maybe they like where they're at, and they're not being bothered. I think the few dither fish in there have made it worth their while. And yeah. Well, I'm excited. I know I don't show it because that's just the way I get excited. I'm like thinking and meditating on it. Wow, exciting news. So great news. And what do we have here? Cosmin, thank you for joining us tonight. And the fact that you told me that they crawled out of the breeder box, that's not good. So what it kind of means to me too is, if I were to maybe take those fry and put them in a tank, I would probably put them in one of my grow out tanks here. Well, breeder tanks, grow out tanks, 2.5 gallons. Like this one behind me is 2.5 gallon here. It's been, this is a very conditioned tank, meaning that it's been running for a long time. The filter's very seasoned. It's had fish in with it, and that little tank, I'm sure I could just put them in there and watch them grow. And they probably wouldn't be able to climb out. The tank they're in, they're not going to climb out. The lid on that is very snug. I have a hard time getting the lid open, in fact. Yep, still says 6.7. So that pH is true. I'm going to try. I just want to see if I can find a tank that has something less than 6.7. I just want to see if my silly meter is working right, yeah? Like, for example, we could take a look at some of these tanks above me, above my head. You see them over here? And let's put it in over here. This one has the fry. This one I dropped the pH. Oh, I forgot to mark it. Now that I look at it, when those fry came out, I should have taken the measurements. 6.6, 6.5. Okay, it's moving. Yeah, I wanted to get the measurements on what that is. 6.3. Yes, definitely dropping. To breed the Apistos, I get it to 6 or below, and drop a pair in, and they tend to just go right down on eggs like clockwork. So it's now 6.1. So it's going to take, at the rate it's going, it's probably going to get as low as 5.8, and then it's probably going to. I know my meter and how it works. It says 6.1 right now. It's been dropping at a certain rate and gets slower and slower, and it drops until finally it stabilizes into an equilibrium. And that's how I know. Thank you all for joining tonight. Is a good number of us connected, and yet not too many thumbs up. But if you click up the thumbs up, I really appreciate it. We're getting a lot of Aussies tonight. This is very typical for my unusual Saturday night. Late night clip. We're getting a lot of the Aussies from the morning. Sunday morning it is. So thank you very much, PH. And I know we've talked to a number of Australians on a Sunday morning, and that's great to have you. And so much. I've been watching a lot of Nick's videos this week, trying to catch up on everything. In fact, I have caught up. 12 p.m. Wow, okay. So it's not that early on a Sunday morning. It's actually noontime for you. So, wow. Yeah, thumb smash. Thank you very much, Jeff. Well, it's been really nice to focus on the several things here. Today, I just wanted to mention I'm putting in these 4 tanks to put in more pistos. So, for example, as you saw a moment ago, I have a pair of pistos still left in the 2.5 gallons. I want to get them all out of there and just use the 2.5 gallons to raising fry. But I don't want to breed in there because it's a little too small. I find that it's not good for the, shall we say, it doesn't work out well for this. See, change. There we go. So these tanks are what we're going to have. These are 5.5 gallons, and we're going to set this up. I got the plumbing in the back. I just want to get some air along the front because we may end up having in these. I need to set on the front a hang on the back or over the side breeder box. I use the breeder boxes for more than just, holding fry. You know what I use them for? Also, I take one And let me see if I can show you this one. So like I'll just set it here on and I move it around. And what I do is I put the parents in here and I drip them. I make it a slow drip. And I just drip them into this box, the water in the tank. So I never throw if it's already the pH is really low, like 5.0, I would never just throw the parents in from tap water into those. I would always transition them. So I start with whatever water they're in, maybe that much water, throw it in there and start dripping, 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 dripping. And then after a number of minutes, maybe a couple hours, they're ready to go and I can put them in there. Hello, Mangrove Jack Whisperer. That must no doubt be another Aussie joining us. Wow, we got to pick up quite a few of you tonight. Thank you so much. And Shady Grady. Ooh, I haven't even seen the new Marvel movie. Yeah, what do you know about the breeder boxes? Now, see, I'm using them over here. In this case, this is a smaller one, and I would take this one and I would use it not just for fry. In this case, I have a small batch of angels, but I would also use it for transitioning. The larger breeder boxes I tend to use for larger batches. And this particular batch, the one with the Pleco condos, aka bio balls. See all those Plecos in there? Yeah, those are the condos. So I throw in a few condos, and then this is what I use for these. However, they will crawl out. Now, I don't know, Jeff, if you had this kind of an arrangement, but let me show you. So what was done with this particular breeder box is a smaller, this is the same material used for doing needle point. It was cut out and then it was siliconed in to make sure the weir won't let the fish through when it overflows. Because what they do is they produce so much gunk and it will take the weir and clog it up. You're not on top of it, cleaning it out all the time, you know. And what will happen is they will climb this up. If water is going over the edge, they will be in the tank in no time. Yeah, and then this is what I use for these are super reds. And over here, there's super reds with a couple of long-finned albinos thrown in. The bigger ones are the long-finned albinos. They weren't doing well where they were. You can see the red eye. See that? Albinos. That's not a dead fish. That's just a pleco that's playing dead. You see, there it goes. I see him lying upside down all the time. And people get spooked out when they see that. And these other tiny super reds. Super reds have the black eyes. Very easy to tell. And they've pretty much chomped up on that zucchini. It looks like I'll be cleaning that out, putting in a new one very soon. While I'm standing up here, take a look at some of the breeder barbs. These are the females. Female albino cherries, Exozona, and the checkered barbs. And then over here, the males, of course, they're always showing off. These guys are something else. We got tigers, long-fin rosy barbs, checkered barbs, Exozonas, black rubies. Fascinating tank. And with this many barbs and that many tiger barbs, I haven't had any losses. And that's hard to do with tiger barbs. The long fins are rosy barbs, neon rosies. They're a nice fish, gorgeous. I have a number for sale. I'm selling off many of them that I raised that are now large and colored up. The only problem is you can't see them so well. Let me see if I can show you over here. The ones, younger ones I'm parting with, they're in the back tank there. See? The males have the red, and the females are just gold with their long fin. And honestly, with the long fins, I really don't mind the the females. Many times the females are kind of uglier, but spare, that's a Inca 50 female extra and another extra. I got 2 extra females. They're in that tank. I got to pull them out. I usually put them over here, but at the time I didn't. I have, this is my extra tank. Let's see what we got down here. I got extra electric blue rams. Got my male cherry barbs over here. I think there's an extra female triple red. Once we get a mate for her, we'll be able to do something. And we've got long finned. And we do have ancestress. Oh, the rams? Oh, the rams play nice with everybody. The only thing the rams don't like are other rams. Look at that. There's a red-shouldered gold young male. This is the one, he got left behind. The rest got sent off to be sold and over at the growout house. That particular one is the one that got lost while I went away, and I came back 4 weeks later and nobody even knew it was in the tank. It was an empty tank, and it somehow survived. Don't know how, but then I just kept it. So here he is, growing out nicely. Look at him. Yeah, why not? Well, we'll put him in a tank and breed him. That's what a male, I think, looks like. Square tail. Yeah, the rams do okay. I'm anxious to get some breeder German blues back again and get into full production this year. This is my mismatch, or shall we say miscellaneous tank. So what you see in here are just, I guess, holding fish. When the auctions are coming up, we're going to have a big auction on April 6th, and also a couple of the other events that are coming up in the spring, and I'm going to part with a lot of fish. Like, for example, the rummy nose. They're beautiful fish. I love those fish, but I just don't have the tank space to try breeding them like I was hoping to. I tried, but they didn't breed. And then each one of these tanks, like you can see here, look, this one full of fish, this one full of fish, this one full of fish, this one full of fish. They're all growing out, and then every one of these tanks you see up here has a pair and with fry of pistos, except for these first 2 here. But these all have pairs of pistos, and so I think in the long run, I'm going to be producing hundreds of pistos every month or every 6 weeks on the average. So with that in mind, I need to have all these tanks going. Yeah, I think that may have been partly it. Remember when we did breed all these penguin tetras you see in here were the ones from the batch we bred. So I ended up with about a dozen actual making it, and so they're growing beautifully in this tank, and those can be sold as well. But I enjoyed breeding the tetras. You know, the penguin tetras, they had lots of fry, but there was a big die-off, and I think it was my fault. So I think next time I do it, I will darken the tank completely until they're actually free swimming and on baby brine shrimp and growing well. That is one of the things I'll do. But it didn't seem hard. I put in 6 males and 6 females, or 4 and 4, I forget, in that one tank, and just left them there 3 days, pulled the parents out and waited. And sure enough, they spawned during that time. So it wasn't in particular hard to do. When I say odds and ends, let me show you an odds and end. I look down and I see things sometimes in this tank. I was like, where'd that come from? See, there's one angelfish, one koi angelfish. That fish came from a whole spawn. That's the last one that survived. It was a strange situation. It was a pair that spawned in a community tank. We took the eggs, the fry after they hatched on the glass, and I don't know. They didn't do well. But somehow, some way, that little guy survived, and he's the only one. So what am I going to do with one fish? So I just threw him in here. He'll grow. Eventually, he'll get too big, and we'll take him over and throw him in with another batch that's equally his size, and sell him off. Yeah, we're looking at our angelfish yesterday, all of our pairs. We've got close to, I think it was 20 pair, at least 15 to 20 pair of angels going in individual tanks. So that's how many tanks we got going with the angels. And as far as breeding them, there's many batches that we're doing here. You saw the koi earlier, and I have the blacks, the marbles, and the koi, and I just brought over another batch of koi yesterday. So we're producing a lot of them, and I think we've sold a couple thousand this year already. So they continue to sell at there's a good demand for those. People are calling us all the time. They want more. And so, Jeffrey, I'm not familiar with that episto either. Ucayali. Rio Ucayali. 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 I'll have to look that up. That might be interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, it's been a while now. It's close to an hour. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on this Saturday night and making it possible. And I will be producing a few videos. And I say that every week, and nothing ever comes out, right? Well, one of the reasons is because there's been a lot of things going on with the fish rooms and everything. So I have to tell you, though, it's going to happen. Oh, Nisanai. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. One of the reasons I don't have Nisanai is because they're so similar to the Panduros that I didn't want to get one that particular species as part of the original ones that I got set up with. So we're breeding from, I think, 6 species, right? We've got here in the fish room the McMasterai, then the Panduros, the red, triple reds, Agassizi, the Hugslowii, and the Inca 50s. And this trifasciata, number 6. Okay, so yeah, we have 6 species that we work with right now. And we said that instead of getting something that's so similar to what we have, we're going to work with these, and then in the future we'll expand and get some other species as well, space allows us to. But that's the good game plan. But thank you very much for joining, and I'm looking forward to our next session. I'd like to keep the sessions to about an hour and have something meaningful to share with you at the time. But then at the same time, each week I'm going to sit into my schedule of maybe a planned photo shoot of a video of something I want to share. And then it would become an actual video and put out there, and you'll get to see it. Of course, if you're a member of this this channel, you're going to actually get to see those videos first. So that we put out there, members will see them first, and then sometime later they'll appear in general for everyone. So thank you very much again, and I appreciate all the wonderful, wonderful support I've received, not just in this session or this live stream, but in the past as well. So appreciate it much. Good night, Sandy. Good night, Jeff. Good night, everyone. And even Lumpy Dog. And those from Australia, thank you so much. And for us, it's good night. But for you, it's good day. And have a great one. But most of all this weekend, be good, be safe, enjoy your fish, and keep it real.